Hello, welcome back to Tea Time. Today we're going to be reading the book NightSong, just in time for Halloween. And as usual, there will be a craft waiting for you afterwards. This book was written by Ari Burke and illustrated by Lauren Lawn. Let's get started. The sun had set, and the shadows clinging to the walls of the cave began to wake and whisper. "Chiro, little wing," the bat mother said to her child, "tonight you must fly out into the world, and I will wait for you here." "But the night is dark, Mama, darker than the moth's dark eyes, darker even than the water before dawn," the little bat exclaimed, twitching his ears this way and that. "I know," whispered his mother, "and when it is that dark outside, I cannot always see," Chiro admitted, stretching his wings. "There are other ways to see," she told him, "other ways to help you make your way in the world." "How?" "Use your good sense." "What is sense?" the little bat asked. His mother folded him in her wings and whispered into his waiting ears, "Sense is the song you sing out into the world, and the song the world sings back to you. Sing and the world will answer. That is how you'll see. Now fly from our cave to the pond where we bats like best to eat. Have your breakfast, then fly home. But do not go farther than the pond unless your song is sure." And then she let him go. Chiro fell into the cold air for an instant, then flapped and turned and flew out past the mouth of the cave and into the waiting night. At first, Chiro tried to peer his way through the dark. Long arms rose in front of him, waving slowly, blocking his path. He could not see around them or over them. Chiro was frightened. But he remembered his mother's bright words, "Use your good sense." Chiro began to sing, softly at first. But then, more surely, his song flew ahead of him, and soon he could hear something singing back. Tall trees called out to him, chanted the lengths of their long branches and the girths of their rough trunks. Gleefully, he flew through the woods, past pines, over maples, and away. Flying higher now, Chiro saw something sliding through the sky toward him. So out went his song, and where danger once threatened, now Chiro saw only a flock of friends flying above him on their evening errands. As he flew farther, Chiro heard strange sounds, lines of noise, 1,000 voices buzzing from one end of the sky to the other. For just a moment, Chiro didn't know what to do or which way to go, but he followed his own song. In the sky behind him followed a river of whispers, fading away. The pond was just ahead. When Chiro came to the pond, singing still, he was very hungry. All the night creatures were there, above the reeds, thousands of tiny flying tasty things, each one humming a different tune. For Chiro, each of their songs sounded like breakfast. Chiro ate well that night. When he was full, he stretched his wings again and thought about flying home. But he began to wonder just a little. What lay beyond the pond? What lay beyond his mother's words? So Chiro flew a bit farther, and the familiar fell away from him, out to the margins of the world. Then he was truly on his own. He flew fast toward a high dune, each grain of sand calling out in chorus as he passed. Chiro flapped up and over the top of the dune and out over the strand, singing louder than he ever sang before. Out went his song over dark water then, again and again, each wave on the ocean rising up to greet him, each splash of sea foam becoming kin to him. The sky began to change, grow light, and cast long shadows over the shore. With the morning came memory, his mother's voice, her warm wings. Chiro knew it was time to go home. Flying higher than he'd ever flown, Chiro began to sing, listening, listening. The music of the land rose up in all of its many textures, each tree, each cliff, each place he'd passed, until finally the song of home added its voice to the others. His cave called out from the blanketing shrubs and pillows of moss at its mouth, and Chiro followed that familiar sound back into the sheltering earth. His mother caught him all up in her wings and asked, "Was it very dark in the world, little wing? What did you see?" "Why, Mama," Chiro said, laughing, "it was very, very dark. And I saw everything." And then he yawned and turned his head into the warmth of her body, letting the rising sun's quiet song carry him, lull him, sing him to sleep. Thank you so much for listening to Night Song with me. Now we're going to be making a sleeping Chiro craft. What are you going to need? Very simple. You're going to want to pick up some felt. I also had black fabric and it could be done, however, it is not going to look as good, but it is an option. You're going to want some faux fur. I bought this one at Hobby Lobby and it's a long strip, almost like ribbon. You need some beads, little black ones that you can use as eyes and a nose, also from Hobby Lobby, some glue sticks. You're going to want some black pipe cleaners and a glue gun. You can't forget, you're also going to need a scissor. Now, without further delay, let's get started. First step, you're going to want to place your felt horizontally and cut a VU shape. This is what I mean by VU shape. As you can see, it's not necessarily a full sharp V, but it's not a U either. Go ahead and cut that, and then you're going to cut down 2 strips, almost like little bat wings. Then you're going to kind of angle 2 cuts on the sides and scallop them. Once that's done, you're going to cut straight across so that it's a completely flat top, and at the bottom you have little scallops and 2 high peaks. Once you are done with that, you're going to want to take some of your faux fur ribbon. Again, I got mine from Hobby Lobby. You can do a boa, just not the one with the big feathers, rather like the lighter one. You're going to want to cut about 2 inches, really depending on how big you cut your felt bat. I took a little bit of fishing line and I made a little head by just separating the 2 and tying a knot. So now it looks like a number 8 almost. You're going to want to place that felt with hot glue on the bat like this. Once you are ready to place it, go ahead and do a little line of hot glue and make sure you leave the little head space out of the bat. You don't want to hide the bat head too much because then it doesn't look like a bat any longer. It almost looks like a little fur ball. So if you have the hot glue, go ahead and adhere it and place the little fur in the center. Now we're going to take our black pipe cleaners. We're going to go ahead and cut the pipe cleaner so that we give structure to the little legs. So you can cut about, I don't know, just a tiny smidge more than what the length is of that big triangle. Cut a little bit more so that we can use that as a little hook. And I'll show you what I mean by that now. After you adhere both pipe cleaners, as you can see them there, you're going to take the remaining pipe cleaner pieces and do 2 little V's. And you're going to go ahead and hot glue that to the back of the little bat head to give it the shape of the little bat ears. Be very careful because you're dealing with that faux fur and you don't want the faux fur to pick up hot glue and then leave almost like a marking or hot glue bits on the head, and then it takes away from the whole look. Afterwards, you're going to want to wrap the little bat arms around. Use hot glue to adhere it. Make sure that you're wrapping them with a little bit of room so that it doesn't look too tight or it almost doesn't look like a bat at all. So a little bit of glue will go a long way, and leave it a little bit loose. Remember I told you we were going to go back to the little feet? Well, here we are. As you can see, they're very wobbly, they're not very stable, and you can see the pipe cleaners rather perfectly. So what you're going to do is you're going to take a little bit more of felt. You're going to cut a triangle that matches that triangle right there, and you're going to cut and you're going to adhere to the already existing triangle. So cut and then make sure you paste it right on top of the pipe cleaner. Once you are done covering the 2 pipe cleaners, make sure that you leave that little hook available so that we can hang it. But you're going to take some beads now and you can add some eyes and a nose if you'd like. It's entirely up to you. But once it's done, it looks so incredibly magical. And the little feet, as you can see here, I left some room so that I can bend the pipe cleaner and the bat can hang from really anywhere. This is great for chandeliers or for flying little objects in a haunted house. I just think this looks amazing. So guys, that was our craft to go along with the book. We had a ton of fun creating them and we made a couple. So we're gonna go ahead and hang it from either the tree for Halloween day, or maybe we can hang it, I don't know, around the roof somewhere. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I hope you enjoyed the book and I hope you and your family can get together and create the hanging bats. There's just so many incredible things you could do. You can even make these with moths or with, I don't know, there's just so much fun that you can create with this. I'd like to thank the person who created this. I actually found it on Pinterest. I definitely took that concept and made it my own. I definitely added things that the original didn't have, or I did it a certain way that the original didn't have, but I definitely took this idea off of Pinterest, and I hope you guys love it as much as I loved it and had to create it. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for following along. Don't forget to click like, comment, share, and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram at Tea Time with Aloha and Coco, and I will see you all in our next video. But until then, don't forget to stay magical. Bye.